everyone, welcome to our Chinese class. Today we're gonna learn how to greet people in this lovely language, Mandarin Chinese. Before we start to learn all the vocabulary and the useful expression, let's have a look at the phonetic symbol. Actually, in terms of Chinese learning, we have two phonetic symbols. One is 汉语拼音, another is 注音符号, or somebody might say b, p, m, f. And these two phonetic symbols are used. And 汉语拼音mainly is invented by China and then is widely used. And b, p, m, f, or 注音符号 is used in Taiwan. Now, let's have a look. They actually, 汉语拼音 use different phonetic symbols. 汉语拼音, they use English alphabet. And b, p, m, f, we have our specific writing symbol to record the sound. Now, let's have a little bit comparison between these two systems. Okay. Normally, people like to use 汉语拼音 because it uses alphabet and then everybody can write. And for example, B sound, B, and in B, P, M, F, we have this new kind of a writing symbol to help us to remember the B sound. However, the second one, P, P, actually in Chinese, we don't have voiceless sound. That means every sound has to be pronounced solely from the throat. Therefore, this B, or we say P, we say P, we do not have P, P. So, B stands for B, and then P stands for P, and so to speak. I will read the whole B, P, M, F phonetic symbols for you, and please have a look the red marked alphabets, and then you can go down to see the equivalence while I say it, and then you will follow it. Okay, now let's start and see how differences the sound structure could be. Okay, b, p, m, f. F is F. However, we do not pronounce F. We really pronounce F. Okay? So remember F, and then continue. D, T, N, L, G, K, H. Again, this H we do not pronounce H. We pronounce H, H. And then when you pronounce it, try to be aware of where the sound comes out from your mouth, and that might influence the whole sound effect. And then continue. Ji, qi, xi. And up to here, every sound is very clear. But after that, we have the rolling tongue. That means your tongue has to really work hard. Zhi, chi, shi, ri, zi, ci, si. So here you can feel that zhi, chi, shi, ri, they really hard because your tongue really has to work and roll back into your mouth, okay? And then zi, ci, si is actually the teeth sound. You have to kind of scrape your teeth, okay? Now, the second line, we have the finals. The previous one, b, p, m, f, until zi, ci, si, they are initials. And then we do have the finals. A, O, E, A, I, A, ow, Here, I put er, but very likely when you see the 汉语拼音, they only give you a little r here, okay? And then remember a, o, e, I, a, o, an, n, they are kind of vowels in English concept, but when you pronounce it, try to keep it as clear as possible. And then we also have the specific way to put it. For example, b, a, and then we have b and a, and we put together b, a. And also, here I did not put the tone symbol. However, the tone has to be marked on the main vowel. So if there is more than one vowel, we have to define which one is a main vowel, and we mark the tone symbol. Remember, the first tone flat, the second tone going up, the third tone is like a tick, and then the fourth tone drop tongue. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 tones will be marked on top of the vowel. So we put them together. B, a, ba, p, o, po, m, I, my, n, an, nan, p, peng, b, I, bi, b, u, bu. You can write in //first way or 汉语拼音 way, either, and try to learn one system that you like, and try to learn how to pronounce it correctly. And also we have ch, a, cha, and also this zh sound. Remember, zh is one of the rolling tone sound, and if you only pronounce zh, you have to add up I, so it's z, h, I in terms of 汉语拼音. And then we have xi, yi, ao, xiao. In that case, you have I, a, o in 汉语拼音. You have to define the most important vowel and give the tone symbol. So xiao, and then qi, yi, en, qing, and then de, u, o, duo. So actually, once you get used to this kind of writing, and then practice your tongue and try to say Chinese naturally and beautifully. So in China, they started 汉语拼音, which really helped a lot of foreigners to learn Chinese, to learn Mandarin quickly. That's very good. And in the Taiwanese system, we use //, or we say 注音符号. That is also good. That can help the foreigners or students to catch the nuances. And actually, if you have a bit more time, you can even learn both and then compare the advantages, and then try to learn also the writing of the phonetic symbols. That's great fun. Okay, so that is phonetic things. Now, we come into the writing. Writing is also a big trouble to the beginners. So writing, we also have 2 systems. One is the traditional characters. Another is simplified characters. Traditional one, obviously, is more complicated. And simplified one is easier, yes. And then, if you know the traditional one, you might be able to guess the simplified one. And then, how do we simplify the characters? We can look at the stroke and make the original character less stroke. Or we can make the components, the radical, a little bit simple. And we can also simplify its structure. Now, have a look. The character 门 that means door. M, N, 门, the second tone. And then the original characters, you can see the door and then the structure. However, in the simplified one, you can still see the beautiful door, but on top of it, it seems to be a little bit simple. So that is a simplified characters. If you can learn both, or you learn the traditional one or more complicated one, you are able to guess the simplified one. Okay, in Taiwan or in China, when we practice calligraphy, very likely we prefer the traditional characters because it's more complicated, and yet it kind of preserves the original beauty of Chinese writing. Now let's have a look at the example here. Example 1, 半, b, an, 半, the fourth tone. And then you can see the traditional one. There is 3 kind of things, and then the 2 parts are disappeared, and then only the middle part is kept. Therefore, you can see, as long as you can write the traditional one, you might be able to guess the middle one. Okay, so one of the ways to simplify Chinese characters is to take away the 2 parts. And the example number 2, traditional characters is like this. 学习, C, U, E, 学, second tone, and C, second tone. 学习, 学习 actually, if you have look, 学, the traditional characters is very complicated, isn't it? Yes. However, in the simplified one, the complicated part becomes the 3 strokes on top. And C, can you see the C? They only choose the little bits on top and to be kept as a simplified characters. So as long as you learn it, you can try to memorize it. It's like photo taken. You have to remember not only the sound, but also the form, and even a little bit the picture or the image. And the next one, oh la la, you can see the traditional one is really complicated, isn't it? It's like painting or it's like drawing. Yes, this is a traditional form of dragon. Okay, so actually you can see the characters is like drawing a dragon. Okay, however, in the simplified one, we only keep the main structure and then we take out a lot of details. So that's simplified characters, 龙. And compare the traditional 龙 and the simplified 龙. We can know that simplified characters only keep some part of the traditional one. And if it is possible, try to remember both. Okay, now in the following lesson, we will learn a lovely dialogue. And from the dialogue, I will teach some sentence patterns, the structure, so that based on the foundation, you can build up the things by yourself and speak something that you really want to speak. And I will teach some very useful vocabulary regarding to the hobbies. And we will practice a little bit more, and we will learn a little bit grammar regarding to the question ending words. And this is gonna be today's lesson. Now, before we move on to see the movie, let's have a look at the picture here. Here we have 3 characters. The first girl is called Sasa. Okay, and Sasa likes to do a lot of things. Can you see how many things around her? And you can have a guess what we're gonna learn. And Sasa will start to be your friend, and she will introduce herself later, and she will bump into her friends. And the next one, we have Rick. Rick is also a lovely young man, and Rick has different hobbies. As long as you see the the picture, and you can see he got quite different hobbies, right? And then from the background and from the foreground, and you can guess what kind of things he likes to do when he has free time. And now we have another girl called Serene. Serene is long hair, and Serene is having a lovely pet cat, and Serene likes to cook. So from the pictures, from the image, you can guess their hobbies, and basically the terms regarding to your hobbies, your preference, that's going to be the content of today's lesson. Now, these lovely girls, boy, they bump into each other, and then they start to greet and introduce themselves and say goodbye. So let's watch the movie now.
早安 Rick，
莎莎早安，你好吗？
我很好，谢谢你，你呢？
还不错。这位是你的朋友吧？你叫什么名字？
我是 Serene， 你呢？你叫什么名字？
我是 Rick， 很高兴认识你。
谢谢，我也很高兴认识你。
大家以后还有机会见面，再见。
明天见。
待会见。
Okay, now you can see the lovely story, right? So they are actually introducing themselves. Sasa is Rick's friend. Therefore, they have known each other, and Serene is a new friend who is going to join this group. So Rick asks something about the new friend. So here we can see if you know each other, we have used different words, and then if you don't know the person, and then you will be polite and ask the person's name and background, so and so. So in the next part, we are going to really understand what they are talking about. I will decode each sentence, and I will tell you where is the structure of the sentence and help you to learn, and you can modify the sentence into your own situation, your own context, and use it. Thank you.